The Galactic Empire controlled thousands of star systems. Its ships were fast and beautiful. Its weapons were strong and exact. For many centuries, no one could challenge it. The Corward Fortress sector was the safest place in the Empire. Huge stations guarded the shipyards of Vexara Prime. Sensors watched every corner of space. Nothing could enter without permission. One normal day, everything changed. Alarms screamed on every ship and station. Red lights flashed. Officers jumped from their chairs. Computers showed something impossible. A massive ship had appeared in the center of the restricted zone. No warning. No flash from hyperspace. No trail of engines. The ship simply existed where empty space had been a moment before. At first, the Imperial analysts thought it was a mistake. Sensors sometimes made errors. They checked again and again. The images stayed the same. Telescopes zoomed in. The ship looked strange. Sharp corners, thick dark armor, many weapon barrels pointed in all directions, no smooth lines, no gold decorations like Imperial ships had, just hard metal built for war. On the side, in plain letters humans used, it read, UNS Indomitable. Everyone in the Empire knew about humans. They came from one small blue planet in a quiet corner of the galaxy. They had only traveled between stars for about 200 years. Very young race. The Empire saw them as weak and primitive. Long ago, the Empire made a treaty with Earth. Humans promised to stay inside their home system. The Empire promised to leave them alone. Everyone believed humans were too busy fighting among themselves to become dangerous. But this ship broke every rule. He, the Grand Admiral of the sector, sent a message. His voice sounded calm and powerful over every speaker. Unknown vessel, you are in restricted Imperial space. Identify yourself now and prepare to be boarded. If you do not obey, we will destroy you. No answer came. The human ship stayed silent. It did not move at first. Then it turned slowly. It showed its whole side to the big fortress station. Every gun port on that side pointed straight at the command center. Inside the fortress, officers looked at each other. Some faces turned pale. A feeling moved through the room. A feeling no one had felt for hundreds of years. Fear. The Admiral gave orders. Send Containment Group Alpha, 3 battle cruisers, 12 destroyers, full fighter wings. Capture that ship. If it fights back, destroy it. The Imperial ships formed a tight group. My blue shields appeared around each one. Energy lances started to hum. These were the best ships in the sector. Their weapons could cut through rock and metal like paper. No one had beaten them in open battle for a very long time. They moved forward carefully. At 50,000 kilometers, the lead battlecruiser fired one warning lance. A bright white beam passed very close to the human ship. The message was clear. Still no answer from the Indomitable. At 30,000 kilometers, the whole group opened fire. Dozens of energy lances shot forward. Bright beams filled the darkness of space. That was when the human ship moved. It did not glide like Imperial ships. It jumped. Hard. Fast. Engines roared. The ship accelerated so quickly that any normal species inside would have died instantly from the force. Over 200 times normal gravity pulled on the crew. But the humans did not die. Inside the Indomitable, men and women sat in strong chairs. Special suits pressed tight against their skin. Machines pumped drugs into their blood. Their bones had metal supports. Their blood vessels were stronger than normal. They had trained for years to survive this kind of speed. The ship twisted left, then right, then spun. Most Imperial beams missed. A few hit the armor. Explosions flashed across the surface, and then nothing. The thick plates ate the energy. No holes, no serious damage. Then the humans answered. They did not use clean energy beams. They used metal slugs. Very long, very heavy. Magnetic rails inside the ship pushed them to 40% of light speed. The first slug hit an Imperial destroyer. The blue shield tried to stop it. The shield broke like glass. The slug went straight through the ship, through the engines, through the other side. A second later, the destroyer exploded into a bright fireball. Another slug, another ship gone. The Imperial ships tried to turn and run. Too slow. The human ship kept moving at crazy speed. It danced between them. Every few seconds, another railgun fired. Another Imperial ship died in fire. In less than 2 minutes, the entire group was gone. Only pieces of metal and gas clouds floated in space. One human ship against many Imperial ships. Total victory for the humans. In the fortress command room, silence fell. Officers stared at empty screens. Someone said a word quietly. "Monsters!" The Grand Admiral looked at the main display. The Indomitable was already turning away. It started to accelerate out of the system. Not in panic, just calm, as if the fight had meant nothing. He knew what would happen next. Urgent messages would fly to the throne world. Fleets would be called back from far borders. The Emperor would hear the news, and in the hearts of every officer in that room, the same thought grew. We made a terrible mistake about humans. News of the battle reached the throne world in hours. The Imperial Palace sat on a planet of crystal towers and golden skies. Inside the Great Hall, the Emperor listened to his advisors. His face showed no emotion, but his long fingers tapped the arm of his throne. That small movement scared everyone more than shouting would have. The Grand Admiral appeared as a hologram. He told the story simply. One unknown ship, sudden appearance. No hyperspace trace, refusal to answer. And then total destruction of a full containment group. No damage to the human ship. The Emperor asked one question. How many ships did we lose? 16 capital ships, all fighters, over 8,000 crew dead or missing. Quiet filled the hall. An old advisor from an ancient species spoke next. His voice was dry like old paper. We have always thought humans were children playing with fire. We gave them limits. We watched their system. We believed they could never leave. Another advisor added, their technology is strange. Not warp drives, not our kind of shields. Something older, something brutal. The Emperor stood. I want every record we have on humans, every scout report, every treaty discussion. Bring them to me now. For days, experts studied old files. They found something worrying. Many years ago, human scientists had asked questions about reactionless drives. The Empire had laughed. Such drives were unstable, dangerous, primitive. No advanced species used them anymore. But humans had kept asking. Then they stopped asking. The Empire thought humans had given up. They had not given up. They had built one. Scout drones sent new pictures of the Indomitable. Inside the ship, human crew moved even during high acceleration. They drank special liquids. They wore suits full of tubes. Medical reports, stolen from hacked signals, showed broken bones healing in minutes. Blood cleaned of waste products. Bodies changed by surgery and training to survive forces that would kill any other species. The Empire began to understand. Humans were not weak because they were young. They were strong because their world was hard. And their planet had ice ages, deserts, oceans full of teeth, storms that could destroy cities. Humans had fought animals, weather, disease, and each other for millions of years. They grew tough. They learned to endure pain. They turned weakness into weapons. The Emperor gave new orders. Recall the Third Grand Fleet, 400 ships. Surround and destroy that human vessel. No prisoners, no mercy. Across the galaxy, Imperial fleets changed course. Battleships turned. Supply ships hurried. The largest force in known history began to gather. Meanwhile, the Indomitable did not hide. It moved deeper into Imperial space, slow enough to be followed, fast enough to escape if needed. It seemed to wait. Small scout ships watched from far away. They sent pictures of human activity. Crew exercised in high-gravity rooms. Engineers checked huge railguns. Pilots practiced in small fighters that looked like angry insects. One scout drone got close enough to catch a radio message between human crew members. A woman laughed. They really thought we would stay locked in our yard forever, a man answered. Arrogance makes blind. The drone was destroyed a moment later, but the words stayed in the reports. On the throne world, fear started to spread. Not loud fear, quiet fear. Officers spoke in low voices. What if there are more ships like that one? What if they have been building in secret for decades? What if we never really controlled them? The Emperor sat alone in his private chamber. He looked at a star map. A small yellow dot marked Earth's system. For centuries, the Empire had seen that dot as harmless. Now it looked different. I felt like a sleeping animal that had opened one eye. He whispered to himself, We should have killed them when they were still on one planet. But no one had listened then. Now it was too late for regrets. The Third Grand Fleet arrived at the edge of the Vixara sector. 400 ships formed a giant wall. Battleships in front, carriers behind, destroyers everywhere. Shields linked into one huge blue dome. In the center of that wall, the Indomitable waited. Alone. The Imperial commander of the Third Grand Fleet was High Lord Cale Vorn. He had never lost a battle. His ships were perfect. His crews were loyal. He believed the human ship was a lucky fluke. One strange weapon. One moment of surprise. Nothing more. He sent the final demand. Human vessel Indomitable, you have killed Imperial citizens. And surrender now or face complete destruction. The human ship answered this time. A calm male voice spoke perfect Imperial language. We came to show you something. Watch carefully. No more words. The Indomitable started to move. Not away. Straight toward the center of the Imperial wall. Acceleration climbed fast. Relativistic speeds. Stars behind it stretched into lines because of the speed. High Lord Vorn smiled. All ships, focus fire. Rip it apart. Thousands of energy lances fired. A wall of white light rushed to meet the human ship. Then the Indomitable changed. Parts of its hull opened. Dozens of small craft came out. Fighters, dropships, but also something bigger. Long tubes the size of small warships detached and accelerated forward. They looked like missiles, but no engines glowed, no exhaust. Mach just falling forward at terrible speed. Imperial point defense guns opened fire. Lasers, missiles, plasma bursts. They tried to stop the incoming objects. Most shots missed. The first object hit an Imperial battleship. It was a solid rod made of heavy metals, traveling at 70% light speed. No explosion on contact, just pure kinetic force. The rod punched through shields, through armor, through decks, through the other side. The battleship broke in half. Secondary explosions followed as reactors failed. Another rod hit, another ship gone. High Lord Vorn shouted, "They are using kinetic weapons, obsolete. Point defense should..." He stopped. The rods kept coming, hundreds of them. Shields flickered and died under hits equal to huge bombs, but no radiation, no warheads to intercept, just fast, heavy metal. The Imperial wall started to break. Then the Indomitable arrived. It had shed its outer layers. Now it showed its true shape, a massive carrier mixed with a battleship. Long coil guns ran along its length, bigger than anything the Empire had. Those guns fired. Each shot sent a cloud of small, guided bombs. The bombs flew like insects. They found weak points. They attached. Then they exploded with tiny bits of antimatter. Clean, precise, devastating. Imperial ships died one after another. Some tried to run. The human fighters chased them. Small railguns on the fighters tore engines apart. High Lord Vorn watched his fleet die. His own flagship shook from near misses. Alarms screamed. Crew ran in panic. He gave one last order. All remaining ships ram the human vessel. If we cannot win, we will take it with us. A few ships turned toward the Indomitable. Desperate suicide runs. The human ship did not slow. It met them head on. Its main guns spoke again. The ramming ships exploded before they could touch. In under 10 minutes, the Third Grand Fleet was gone. Only pieces remained, spinning slowly, burning, dead. The Indomitable slowed. It turned. It faced the distant Imperial scouts that had watched everything. A new message came, the same calm voice. This was one ship, one captain, one goal. You thought we were nothing. You put chains on us. You laughed at our youth. We do not want your empire. We do not want your throne. But if you threaten our people again, we will come. And next time we will not send just one. The message ended. The Indomitable accelerated away. Then it simply vanished. No flash, no ripple. Gone. Across the galaxy, Imperial citizens heard the news. On trade stations, on colony worlds, in schools. Parents told children in quiet voices about the day one human ship destroyed the strongest fleet ever built. Children asked, "Are humans coming here?" Parents answered, "We hope not." For the first time in centuries, the Galactic Empire remembered what fear felt like. After the destruction of the Third Grand Fleet, the Empire tried to hide the truth. Official reports said technical failure during training, but too many people had seen the battle. Scout drones, merchant ships, refugees from destroyed stations. Stories spread fast. On Earth, leaders watched secret reports. They did not celebrate. They knew what came next. The Empire would not forgive, it would try harder. In the Imperial Palace, the Emperor called his council. Wasn't no holograms this time. Every advisor came in person. The room felt cold. We underestimated them, the Emperor said. We will not make that mistake again. New orders went out. Every shipyard worked day and night. New weapons designed. Old designs improved. Scientists studied captured pieces of human technology. They found human slugs. They found parts of drives. Nothing worked when they tried to copy it. Human engineering was too strange, too simple, too effective. At the same time, spies tried to enter human space. Most never returned. The few that did brought bad news. Earth had not one ship like Indomitable. It had many, hidden in asteroid belts, under oceans, behind moons, some bigger, some smaller. Some carried weapons no one understood. One spy saw a shipyard inside a hollow moon. Hundreds of railguns being built, lines of fighters ready to launch. Humans worked without fear. They sang songs while they welded armor. The Empire decided on total war. No more single fleets. The entire border would be reinforced. Every system near human space got new stations, new minefields, new sensor nets. But humans did not attack again, not yet. Instead, small groups of human ships appeared near Imperial colonies. They did not fire. They just watched. Sometimes they broadcast messages. One message said, "We see you building war machines. Stop, or we will stop you." Another said, "Your people live on many worlds. Our people live on few. Think about what that means if war comes." The Empire answered with threats. "We have trillions. You have billions. We will crush you." Humans answered, "Numbers did not help your third fleet." Silence followed. Inside human space, factories ran 24 hours. New ships grew. Crews trained in simulators that copied Imperial weapons. Scientists improved drives, made railguns longer, made slugs denser. Children learned history, not just human history, galactic history. They learned why the Empire feared them now. On Earth, a young pilot asked her teacher, "Will we win if they come?" The teacher answered, "We do not want to win their empire. We want them to leave us alone. If they do not, we will make sure they never forget the price." Months passed. The Empire waited. Humans waited. Then one day, a small human ship appeared near an Imperial border station. It carried no weapons. Only a single passenger, a human ambassador. She met Imperial diplomats on a neutral station. She spoke quietly. "We do not want war, but we will fight if you force us. Lift the old treaty. Let us travel. Let us trade. Let our people live free, or continue the old way, and see what happens next." The diplomats laughed at first. Then they remembered burning ships. They remembered one voice saying, "Next time we will not send just one." They sent the message to the throne world. The Emperor read it. He sat silent for a long time. Finally, he spoke. "Tell them, we will discuss terms." It was not surrender, not yet, but it was the first time the Empire had ever backed down. Years later, the galaxy was different. The old treaty was gone. Humans traveled freely. Their ships appeared in trade ports. Their merchants sold goods. Their scientists shared ideas. But everyone watched them carefully. No one forgot the Indomitable. On quiet nights in bars on distant worlds, aliens told stories. They spoke of the day a single ugly ship appeared from nowhere. They spoke of railguns that ignored shields, of acceleration that broke bodies, of humans who fought under forces that should have killed them. Children listened with wide eyes. "Are humans dangerous?" they asked. The adults answered, "Only if you make them angry." On Earth, life continued. People worked, laughed, loved, built families. But every adult knew the truth. Peace was not free. It was paid for with readiness. In hidden bases, ships waited. New Indomitables, larger ones, stranger ones. Crews trained every day. They hoped they would never need to fight again, but they were ready if the day came. One old captain who had served on the original Indomitable sat on a porch and looked at the stars. His hair was white now. His hands shook a little. A young officer asked him, "Sir, do you think the Empire will ever try again?" The captain smiled slowly. "They might. Arrogance dies hard. But they remember now. They remember one ship. They remember what happened when they underestimated us. And that memory will keep the peace longer than any treaty." He looked up at the sky. Somewhere out there among the stars, his old ship and her sisters waited. Silent, patient, without mercy if needed. The galaxy had learned a hard lesson. Humanity was not young anymore. Humanity was awake, and the stars would never feel quite so safe again. Here is part 6 of the story. It continues directly from part 5, written in the same style. Simple and basic English, third-person view, around 1,000 words, approximately 990 words. No extra headings or part numbers inside the text. Years passed after the Empire agreed to talk. The old borders opened slowly. Human ships began to appear in neutral trade stations. At first, the aliens kept far away. They watched from corners. They whispered when humans walked past, but humans did not shout. They did not show weapons. They traded food, tools, music, stories. They bought rare metals and strange plants. They paid fairly. They left quietly. Many aliens started to relax. A few even became friends. A young merchant from a bird-like species named Lyra began selling glowing crystals to human captains. One day she asked a human trader named Marcus, "Why did your people stay quiet so long? You could have come out earlier." Marcus smiled a little. "We were waiting to see if you would attack again. When you didn't, we decided peace was better than more fighting." Lyra looked at the floor. "Many of us lost family in the old wars. We were told humans were wild, dangerous, like animals with guns." Marcus nodded. "We heard the same about you. Big empire, cold hearts, ready to crush anyone who disobeys." They both laughed quietly. It was not a happy laugh. It was the laugh of people who had seen too much death. But not every alien accepted the change. On a dark world near the edge of old imperial space, a group of officers still served the old ways. They called themselves the True Guardians. They believed the Emperor had become weak. They believed humans were a disease that must be cut out before it spread. Their leader was Admiral Zara Keth. She had been a young officer during the Battle of the Third Fleet. She had watched her ship burn from an escape pod. The memory never left her. Every night she saw railgun slugs tearing metal. Every night she heard the calm human voice saying, "Next time we will not send just one." She gathered old ships, hidden shipyards, loyal crews who hated the new peace. They built in secret, new shields, faster engines, weapons copied from human designs, but better, they thought. One day Zara sent a small fleet into human space, not to fight openly, to test, to hurt. 3 fast raiders attacked a small human mining station on an asteroid belt. They destroyed the station, killed everyone, took the ore, left a message carved into a remaining rock. Humans do not belong among the stars. Word reached Earth fast. The human council met in silence. Old captains sat next to young leaders. They looked at pictures of the broken station, bodies floating in space, children among them. A woman named Captain Elena Reyes stood up. She had flown as a junior officer on the original Indomitable many years ago. Her hair was gray now. Her eyes were still sharp. "We kept peace because we wanted it," she said. "But peace is not weakness. If they want war again, we give them what they ask for." No one argued. That night, orders went out. Not to every ship, only to the quiet ones. The hidden fleet, ships that had waited in deep space, in dark nebulae, behind gas giants. Ships bigger than Indomitable. Ships with names like UNS Relentless, UNS Vengeance, UNS Silence. They moved, not fast, not loud, slow and careful, like predators in tall grass. Zara Keth waited on her flagship, the Blade of Eternity. She had 50 ships now, strong, modern, She believed they could win. Scouts told her a human fleet was coming. Only 12 ships. Hey, she laughed. They send so few. Arrogance again. She formed her ships into a tight spear, ready to smash through. The human ships appeared at the edge of the system. They did not charge. They stopped, far away, too far for normal weapons. Then the first shot came. Not a slug, not a beam, a small object, tiny, moving very fast. It passed between Zara's ships. No explosion, no sound. But every screen on every ship went black for 3 seconds. When the screens came back, the human ships were closer, much closer. They had used the brief blackout to burn engines at full power. Now they were inside the formation. Zara screamed orders. Fire everything! Too late. The human ships opened their sides, not guns this time. Doors. Hundreds of small drones poured out. Each drone carried one thing, a short-range EMP pulse. Yet they flew between Imperial ships. Close. Very close. Then they flashed. Blue light. Silence on comms. Shields dropped. Engines coughed. Weapons failed. In that moment of confusion, the human railguns spoke. Not one slug at a time. Many. A storm of metal. Zara watched her fleet die again. One by one, fast, clean. No chance to answer. Her own ship shook. Alarms screamed. A slug had passed through the engine deck. Not close enough to kill the ship instantly. Close enough to make it slow. Helpless. The human flagship moved in front of her. Its hull was black. No name on the side this time. Only a small mark. A simple drawing of an open hand. A voice came over the open channel. Calm. Tired. Female. Admiral Zara Keth, you killed miners, families, children. You left a message. Now we leave one. Zara tried to speak. Her voice cracked. Could you? Will destroy us all. No, the voice answered. We destroy only what attacks us. Your ships end here. Your life ends here if you choose to keep fighting. Or you can live. Go home. Tell the others what happens when you break peace. Silence. Zara looked around her bridge. Her crew stared at her. Some cried. Some looked angry. Most looked empty. She closed her eyes. Power down weapons, she whispered. All ships, stand down. The human ships did not fire again. They waited. One by one, the Imperial ships turned off their guns. Engines went cold. Lights dimmed. The human voice spoke once more. Go back to your worlds. Tell them the truth. Humans do not want empire. We want to be left alone. If you let us live free, we let you live free. If you choose war again, we will finish it. The human fleet turned away. They did not chase. They did not destroy the disabled.